right, we'll call committee of the whole together for January 8th, 2018, time being 6:11 p.m. First item on the agenda, 3.1, variation application 2018-01, 13 Constant.
So the town received a very application, and this is for, the owner got approved for garage construction, and midway through the plans were changed to make a taller garage, so a variation is needed, and this is to legalize the existing construction, so this will be coming forward.
Okay, we have the notice, okay, notice of public hearing, Sarah. Okay, good, thank you.
Well, just for curiosity's sake, what's the height restriction? And what is the maximum height?
12 feet. Yeah.
12 feet?
Yeah,
For the wall height or roof?
Roof.
Oh, for the roof height, it's...
No, wait, it's wall height.
Wall height.
12, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
okay.
it's on one higher than 12 feet.
Yep.
Was there any indication as to the purpose of this request?
I think what had happened is just midway through the construction, they just wanted it a couple of feet higher. And they didn't realize that they were supposed to come back when they changed the plans.
What? I guess I drove by there and had a look at it, and it's more than just your two-car garage in the backyard.
It's a sizable construction.
It's huge in that sense, and it begs the question, is it a residential construction or is it an industrial construction? I don't know, and I'm just asking this because it's coming back now with where they changed something midway, and just because it's built doesn't mean we have to approve it. So I'd like to get some further information on why they need the height increase, and other than the fact that they built it too big without approval. Why did they want it?
I'm sure the applicant would be more than happy to share that information when we have our public hearing. This is just letting us know that we're holding the public hearing. Here's what he's wanting to do. He'll have the opportunity to come in and explain why he's doing it and what his request is. And also the neighbors will also have the opportunity to say if they have any issues with it.
Okay. I guess one last question, just, and here, help me with the process with regard to these, because there's check boxes on our forms and whatnot that go through, so do we check those and bring that information to a public hearing, or is that something that happens after?
Basically, what happens is that the public hearing, they will represent their story and their case as to what happens. If council has any more questions of us, we bring it forward, we discuss it at the next meeting.
So it's at the next meeting,
Yep.
all those reports?
So at the hearing, we have the opportunity to ask questions. We won't render a decision on the hearing until the following meeting. So if at the hearing you have questions and you're not satisfied with the answers, then there's the opportunity for additional information to come forward at the next meeting.
This was brought to my attention by the fire department from the building inspector.
Yeah.
And he's already weighed in.
Yeah, so
But there's no actual...
So when do we get the recommendations from these parties, I guess is all I'm really asking.
After the hearing.
At the hearing.
Yeah.
After the hearing, so the...
At the hearing.
Okay.
Yeah, so the questions you're asking right now, you would ask the property owner there. Like, you just say, what is your intent to this, they'll share more information. Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's our stuff.
That's our stuff.
Yeah.
That's for me.
Sorry, that's what confused it for you, sorry, Brian. It's just the form, it says on the bottom, just,
For office use only.
yeah.
But you'll have your opportunity to ask the homeowner at the public hearing.
Yeah, I realize that.
And if there's any more information that you're requesting from that hearing of any of us, we bring it forward, council discusses at the next meeting, and then you decide if you want to approve it or not.
Okay, so at what point do we get these recommendations?
The recommendations come to me and Randy.
And they're brought forward at the public hearing.
Yeah.
If there is
any.
Okay, so, okay, I guess that's my question. Is there any recommendations coming forward?
We're not sure until the day of that hearing. People could either put it in writing ahead of time, because what happens, this is a normal variation process. I can...
He's talking about these recommendations.
Yeah, but see, I'm talking about our internal, the town.
That'll come after. That's up
That's all
After
I-
the hearing.
Yep.
So at the hearing, we just hear what they have to say and ask their questions. When it comes to getting a recommendation from various departments or administration.
Yes, we bring that to you when you're going to be discussing
that,
it, yes.
That comes Now, is that in the public forum or in the private? Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
That's, you guys will be saying, when you have the public hearing, there's gonna be questions that are spurred from it. You'll say to us, can you provide us with this additional information? When council is going to be discussing it again to make their decision, that information will be presented to you then. So we'll provide you with whatever additional information you need to make your decision.
Okay, that's helpful, because it bothers me that these things happen and then we get asked to make a variance, and that's a brand new building. This isn't something that was built long ago and they're trying to move the yardsticks a little bit. And we set up I consider this, if we set up a precedent that, well, we'll just give you a variance because you built it, it's a real issue on how we're dealing with this whole process. Anyway.
I share your concern, I do. It is an enormous structure, and I don't know where that changed halfway through the plans, I don't know. But, you know, I'm curious. I'll be asking myself at the public hearing. Well, maybe I won't be able to make it.
Well, now that you're aware of it, you can mark down some questions to ask when they come here.
Okay, anything else?
Thank you.
All right, 4.1.1 EMO plan.
There's conditional use 3.2.
No, that was removed.
I don't
Sorry.
think so.
Sorry, that's my fault, Jen. I didn't remove it from mine.
Makes me look bad.
No, it's me bad. So the Town of Paws emergency plan has been updated. The only changes that we've had in the last 2 years are pretty much updating the numbers of contact people. EMO has now changed the requirement. Before we used to do this in June. Now we only have to do it once a year, and everybody across the province submits it at the end of the year. So that was the only changes. There was no technical changes. It was just making sure that all our contact information was updated.
Okay, 4.1.2, coordinator.
This is something I would like to throw out there. Right now, in an emergency situation, I'm your EMO coordinator, Jen is my backup. We pretty much utilize all of our staff when an event happens. Anything that goes beyond a couple of days does have a huge impact on the operation of the organization. We've gone to several EMO conferences. It's very seldom that you have your staff doing all your emergency coordinating stuff. What I would like to do is put it out there to see what interest we could get from the community for an EMO coordinator. There's a lot of stuff who are complying, but there's a lot of stuff coming down the tubes that I'm just not gonna have the time for. We're gonna have to be planning some mock disasters. The only way I'm fortunate with that is we're gonna be doing it together with the airport. So we're kind of lucky on that one. We did a tabletop exercise with them. But there's so much more involved in our EMO plan that is setting up representatives from all our main industries in town and meeting regularly. This is a pretty big job, and other municipalities across the province, most of them, hire out this position to someone. So I would like to actually just put it out there to see if someone's interested in seeing what kind of money it would cost us. So that's my request, is to almost put out an RFP and see what kind of pricing we could get for someone to handle our emergency plan.
Okay,
Yeah. I briefly talked to her and she said we'd have to chat. But yeah, the RM has done theirs for a couple of years, they've outsourced.
And
Well, they outsource
Yeah.
theirs,
Do they find that effective?
Yep. Yeah, they're still involved, Jerry's still involved, like for the RM. He's still involved in the EMO, like he's kept apprised of everything, but the actual legwork is done by their coordinator.
And they find it cost effective as well?
Yep. They had, someone else had done it before her also. Carmen Barnes, Jermaine?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
okay. 4.2, San Juan Museum Board appointments, reappointments.
So we would require a resolution to reappoint Bev McTavish, Robin Reeder, and Connie Wyatt Anderson to the San Juan Museum Board for a 2-year term ending December 31st, 2019.
Resolution, all right. 4.3, engagement letter for 2017 audit.
So basically what we need is to sign off on the 2017 audit engagement letter. This is the final year for the 3-year tendered audit.
Okay. 4.4, payroll and accounts.
This is for resolution we would require for pay period 25 in the amount of $100,000, 82611, General checks in the amount of $359,607.68. Electronic funds transfers in $90,517.47 for a total of $550,951.26. Some of the larger ones, there was bus construction. It was for $28,815. That was for the intake repair of the screen at the deep well. J.R. Cousin Consultants for $45,643. That was for infrastructure renewal plans. And Stitco, we had a larger bill considering the temperatures of $48,890. And then we had Municipal Trading Company in the amount of $30,066, and that was more airport fuel. So those are just pointing out some of the larger ones.
Any other ones? Okay, a resolution then. 4.5, 2018 budget request for travel. Councilor Rock.
Yes, let me bring that first. I submitted a request for our budget proposal to request travel with regard to our federal FCM Sustainable Communities Conference, which had come up. I submitted a February 20 to 22nd, 2018. That's a new one. There's a partnership summit that they proposed in Winnipeg. The purpose of this one is to try and bring in people that have been involved with the process and whatnot to really come up with a guide or an outline or something that says when the process is over and we're left on our own, what are we going to follow? What are we going to do? One of the issues is sometimes Ottawa or the feds come in and they show you how to do it and they help you along and they bring you through it, which is all well and good. But then when they leave, you go, well, what happened? And we need to be putting things in place for that. So this is an opportunity to have representatives from across the province of Manitoba that are involved in these partnerships between Aboriginal communities and non-Aboriginal communities. And ours is an interesting one because it's probably the only one that is 3 communities, not just 2. So there's minimal cost there. The only thing that I'm asking is, and I guess with regard to Randy and council, is Sam and myself, the superintendent, public works superintendent, and myself both sit on it. I would like to see someone in the organization beyond a counselor, because counselors come and go, attending something like that to do it. Now, if there's money for it and we send somebody, I would say, well, send Sam, because the information will stay longer with us and that. I can probably go and not be a burden of cost. The other 2 items I asked for last year as well was the Association of Manitoba Municipalities official seminar, probably, well, it's in April 11th and 12th. I would like to attend that. April and May, there's the Hudson Bay Road Association annual general meeting. That's taking place here at the Kikiwak Inn and whatnot. So it's not a high cost item. And the other one is somewhere in April or May, the dates aren't firm yet, but Gateway Kuwait and Corridor Inc. has their annual general meeting, and that's the group that is supporting the development and improvements to Highway 283 and 9 and 55 in Saskatchewan. So, and I submitted a copy to the others and asked that it be included in the budget.
Somebody have an issue with Brian Daniels?
What's the amount? What's the total amount?
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't talk to Brian about what a total amount would be. Last year I submitted it, and the numbers we generated through the budget, that's when Jody produced
Per
it.
diem is basically $200.
So if I may just comment on this, So this would be included when we're discussing the 2018 financial plan. However, there are two items in here that will be done before the financial plan, so they're going to require a resolution that'll have to be brought forward.
This February 6th was on approval.
I'm thinking that one was also,
For the FCR.
yeah.
I support Brian and I support
Yeah.
Sam going to that one
Yeah.
for sure.
If that second, the 20th to 22nd one is the one that was new, and that we only
Yeah.
found out about just before Christmas.
Yep, and well, in your
That's it.
meetings that you guys were having. So those are the two that we would have to bring forward a resolution before that, and the other,
I think it
we'll
makes
just
sense to
look at
continue.
budget time.
I got no issue with it.
Yeah, we've already approved the first one,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
the 6th and the 9th. It's just the one for the other one.
It makes sense to remain out front on this stuff
Yep.
and
Mhm.
to be present and prevalent in it, so if Brian's got the time to go, I think that's awesome. Thanks.
I wonder if they pointed out saying.
'Cause I don't.
Just another meeting, different locations.
For me, I understand exactly what he's saying, because this is an election year, Stan's gonna be the one that you're gonna be depending on sharing this information moving forward.
Yeah.
You know, depending on if you run again or whatever happens, right? So, in this particular case, I think it is important Sam attends.
Yeah, no, I think it's, I've said before, I think it's important, not just election year, but any year.
No, for sure.
It'd be good to know how much it's gonna cost overall, instead of we're all saying, yeah, I'm jumping up and down.
Bring
The
costs
first one is
down.
almost no charge at all, right, because we're getting reimbursed pretty well.
For traveling
Yeah.
accommodations.
So the other one is just,
Yep.
He part some.
that's not gonna be a whole lot. Okay, 4.6, meeting with stand up for Oscar's Place, Samantha, what?
Just a resolution for the February,
Yeah, for the February
For the
20th, 22nd,
and then the other
for
ones go to,
budget review, but it'll be for,
It's already-
it's already been done.
Oh, okay, all right.
But is that the one where we should be sending a senior grant?
Second one, February
It's the second one.
22nd.
So we're gonna have to have a resolution for that?
Yeah, the second one, correct, yeah.
To say both.
Mhm.
Okay.
All right, 4.6, meeting with stand up for Oscar's Place in Manitoba Housing, Councilor Zelinski. Sorry.
Did you want,
It doesn't matter, basically it was just when's council, there's been a request from Stand Up for Oscar's Place and Housing to meet with council to discuss alternative locations and just general discussion about the homeless shelter. So I don't know if you guys want to meet as an entire council in the evening, if you want to meet during, after a council meeting, or if you want to have a working group, how do you want to approach?
What do we, like, can you update us at all, because I know there was
Sure.
a 6-month period that's quickly going by.
I got involved kind of right at the start when the Friendship Center had decided to cease operations of Oscar's Place, the homeless shelter as it stood and as it stands right now. And Manitoba Housing and Stand Up for Oscar's Place was able to negotiate a 6-month lease of the current property where Oscar's Place has and always has been, is and always has been. But as of April 1st, 2018, so 3 months down the road basically, that's no longer an option. So with the support of Manitoba Housing, Stand Up for Oscar's Place is looking at different locations around town and just wants to sit down with all of council to kind of update on the whole situation and then discuss some possible locations, because whatever location that Oscar's Place is going to be moving to, or the homeless shelter is going to be moving to, is going to need some type of variance. So I guess it's just to get everybody kind of on the same page of where things are going to be going. So that's where it's at.
We should meet with them now.
And just to elaborate on what you're saying, anything except the place they're in now, everything would require conditional use.
Or sorry, yeah,
Anything outside of a central commercial area would require rezoning.
rezoning.
Yeah,
plus a conditional.
plus the
use.
conditional
Plus the
use,
conditional
yeah,
And then there's possibility of variations after that.
yeah.
Yeah, depending on
So
the
the
building.
quicker
Yeah.
they can secure a site and all these other things, the better we can get moving.
So, just so I understand, the Friendship Center then is not involved in the conversation. At present, the Friendship Center owns it owns Oscar's Place, but the group Stand Up for Oscar's Place is working with Manitoba Housing to try and find a
Yeah,
location for homeless.
exactly. Yeah, so Stand Up for Oscar's Place is taking the place of the Friendship Center in terms of running emergency overnight shelter services in Nepal. So
Okay, gotcha.
that's where it's at right now.
I don't know if you guys know this, but there's two buildings right now, right?
Yep.
Hospice place and there's a house.
Yep.
So they would both be zoned the same.
No, the house is
No,
a
the
separate
house is
property and
different.
it's not zoned to
The house is
accommodate
multiple
both
family.
facilities.
Is it residential multifamily? Yeah.
I'm not sure if
There's
it's
a number
zoning
of
on it, but
apartments
it's
in
not,
there.
that's not part of conditional use.
It seems like
It's owned by them.
it's all in one lot, though, looks like.
I'd have to double check that.
Yeah.
I remember going over there at the election time last go around, and I'm pretty sure it's a separate lot on a separate property, a separate building on a separate
I think
property.
it is too.
But they both own that
Both.
affection.
They're both owned by the same, yeah.
Yeah, they had designs on making use of it for, they were planning to use.
Transitional housing.
Yeah, they were gonna, yeah.
And they, I know that they're trying to come up with some long-term solutions, so we should meet with them.
For sure, yeah. Manitoba Housing has been, they've really stepped up
Yeah.
and gone above and beyond.
They really have.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
have. You know, that's one of their tenets of what they stand for, and, you know, now is the time to get behind this and come up with some type of workable solution for the whole community, right?
So maybe something in the next 3 or 4 weeks?
Yeah, sooner the better.
Yeah.
You know
You
what I
wanting
mean?
day, or you want evening, or you wanting
Evening.
after?
Evening, yeah.
At least, I don't know, if it's to be a whole council meeting with the group, then I would, evening works best for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, even if, like, I know, like Manitoba Housing is willing to meet for an evening meeting. Kind of what was thrown around was to meet, you know, after a council meeting type of thing. So if we could make something like that work, I'm sure everybody would be happy with that.
Do they have a site picked out?
There's a couple sites that have been identified, but nothing's set in stone as of yet.
3 months isn't, we've
No,
been
3 months
kinda
isn't.
indicating what's required, and every 2 weeks it goes by, it puts us back 2
Exactly.
weeks, so.
Yeah, so if we could meet for the 22nd, that would be great at the end of the council meeting. I don't know what kind of agenda we have set up for that as of yet, but
Well, yeah, we'll try and keep it light, right? So we'll have time for them. Okay,
It's not part of the meeting.
Nope.
all right. Deputy Mayor Gibb, please move the people.
Okay, thanks. Please be involved that we move ourselves into the in-camera portion of the committee of the whole with Mayor Scott to chair the discussion matters requiring attention.
That's teamwork at action.
Fabulous.